We will say good morning. This is roatanweather.org. It is March 14th, 3.14 for you math addicts out there, Pi Day. It's 7:30 in the morning, and we have something unusual for us this morning. We have some clouds. We haven't had those in a while. That's quite exciting. It means that we have at least a chance of rain, which we haven't had in a long time. But we'll start with our current conditions. We'll see that we have 5 to maybe 10 knot winds, but coming mostly from the northwest this morning, which is a little different for us. They've been coming straight out of the east recently. Fairly calm, not very strong winds. But when they do come out of the northwest, let me show you a current look at West Bay Beach. And when it refreshes, you'll see that we have some minor waves. Usually when we have an easterly on West Bay Beach, because it's protected from the from the east wind, then calm as it can be on West Bay Beach. That's why people who own that property in front of it are so rich. But today we have a little bit of a northwest wind, so you can see that there is some minor waves there. But our waves in general are right at 0.7 meters, 2 feet. And that's Sandy Bay on the north side, and also Port Royal on the south side, pretty close to 2 feet this morning. This is the clouds that we have moving a little bit unusually from the west to the east. We are kind of on the boundary line of those clouds, so as the day goes on, we should get more sunshine and less clouds. But whenever you have clouds, you do have the possibility of rain. So let's look at the weather radar and see where, if any, there is rain. It shows a little bit on the north coast of Honduras. You'll see that earlier it picked up a little bit of rain out to the northwest of the islands. Radar is not a very effective indicator of where rain is as far out as here. The source of the radar is Belize City. The effective distance of radar is about 140 miles, and we're about 130 miles from Belize City as the crow flies. So it gives us a good idea as to what rain may exist, especially to our northwest, because it'll pick up the rain there better. But we do know from this that there is some rain in these clouds, but they seem to be passing by and maybe passing us by. So we'll probably miss the rain this morning. Somebody might pick up a sprinkle or two. If you do, let us know in comments. We are now mostly, this will also tell you that these clouds back here did give us some rain back towards Puerto Cortez, just a little bit, 0.04 of an inch. Our front this morning moved a whole lot. It's up here in the southern part of Florida. Notice in the western side of the front, it's turned into a stationary front, which means it's not moving at all. So that's the tendency with these, especially late in the season, that the west of the front degrades. And you definitely see that as we put the forecast in the computer model in motion. This is the European model. And as we go forward in time, you can see the western side is struggling to give us any rain. So through Wednesday, this is the Euro model, as I mentioned, is trying to give us some rain Wednesday morning, and then not a lot Wednesday during the day, and maybe a little more on Wednesday night. You'll also notice that there is another front that comes on Sunday and gives us perhaps a better shot of rain. We'll have to wait and see, because that one may degrade just like this one has. This is the GFS, the US model, and you'll notice, you can see this one even more clearly, that the western side here, much stronger, much more rain over the Bahamas. The western side, the eastern side is much stronger. I don't know if I said that right. The western side over us, FS, is more wanting to give us rain Wednesday night into Thursday morning. But then it also has the front behind it a little stronger than the Euro, coming in on Sunday and maybe giving us some rain. Now, the reason why we can be a little bit more optimistic this week than we were last week is if you look at the amount of moisture in the air, You actually, even on Wednesday, you see some reds, which is deep moisture in the atmosphere, but a lot of yellows. If I were showing you this last week, we would have seen a lot of the blues over us, maybe a little bit of brown, which is dry air. And when you have dry air overhead, you're not going to get any rain. And we had 0% chance last week of rain. This week we're going to have some, especially 30 to 40% Wednesday and Sunday, maybe 20% other days, but at least that's something. And some of us should get wet at some point, and that should put a little bit of moisture on the dust and maybe keep that down. Here's the prediction for rainfall through Thursday at noon. For the Euro model, it's saying between half an inch and an inch. GFS, not quite so optimistic, like an inch. Icon, which is probably the third most accurate, trying to give us an inch. Let's hope that's right. We definitely need the rain. A week out, Euro trying to say 1.5 inches to an inch over the next week. The GFS, more like an inch. And then the others are a little less accurate. The Chinese model always likes to give us a lot of rain. I don't know why. But that one's saying 2 to 3 inches. But winds fairly light the next week and variable in their direction. Seas mostly 2, maybe 3 feet. Seems like if we go over here to our wind, Thursday night into Friday, we're looking more like 4-foot seas, which is the highest we'll have over the next week, calming from there through Saturday and Sunday. A lot of that is because of swell, because of some northerly winds to the north of us that push some seas up in our direction. But fairly light winds, fairly variable in their direction, a little bit cooler. Yesterday was pretty hot. We got up to 90 here. The clouds should keep us a little cooler, but we will be humid, and we will have chances of rain, especially Tuesday night into Wednesday night into Thursday, and Sunday morning. All right, well, that's what we have this week, and I hope you guys have a great Tuesday.